In a time when the law was used to oppress, one man used it to fight back. He challenged the system, broke barriers, and reshaped history. His name, Thurgood Marshall, the man who turned the law into a weapon for justice. Born in 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland, Thurgood Marshall grew up in a world that told him his rights had limits. But from an early age, he was taught to challenge those limits. His father, a train porter, would take him to courtrooms just to watch trials, sparking his love for the law. In high school, he was no stranger to trouble. In fact, he was so argumentative that his punishment for misbehaving was reading the U.S. Constitution. But instead of seeing it as a punishment, Marshall saw it as a promise, one he would spend his life making sure America kept. After being denied admission to the University of Maryland Law School because of his race, Marshall attended Howard University. There, under the mentorship of Charles Hamilton Houston, he learned that the law wasn't just about rules, it was about power, and he was going to use it to fight injustice. In the 1940s and 50s, Marshall became the lead attorney for the NAACP, taking on case after case, dismantling segregation one lawsuit at a time. But his biggest battle was yet to come. In 1954, Thurgood Marshall stood before the Supreme Court in Brown v. Board of Education. His argument was simple but groundbreaking. Separate but equal was a lie. Segregation in schools violated the Constitution. And for the first time in history, the Supreme Court agreed. The decision was unanimous. Segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. It was a victory that shook the foundation of America, proving that change wasn't just possible, it was inevitable. But Marshall didn't stop there. Over his career, he won 29 out of 32 cases before the Supreme Court, striking down racist laws and setting new legal precedents. He wasn't just changing laws, he was changing lives. Then in 1967, history was made again. President Lyndon B. Johnson nominated Thurgood Marshall to the United States Supreme Court, making him the first black justice in American history. From inside the highest court in the land, he continued his fight for civil rights, justice, and equality. For 24 years, Marshall served on the Supreme Court, ensuring that the Constitution protected all Americans, not just a privileged few. His rulings defended women's rights, prisoners' rights, and the rights of the poor. His philosophy was clear. The law should be a force for good. Thurgood Marshall retired in 1991, but his impact didn't fade. Every time a law protects the powerless, every time justice is served in a courtroom, his legacy is alive. He proved that the law isn't just words on paper, it's a weapon for change. Thurgood Marshall didn't just fight the law, he changed it. And because of him, justice in America will never be the same. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.
Until next time, keep learning and stay inspired.